I am Jen Hinderer, and I am the coordinator of Secondary Pathways and Partnerships. With us tonight is Kevin Patton, our Pathways counselor. Julie Blevins is our Emerald Campus principal, and Nikki Swisher is our Emerald Campus counselor. We also have representatives from Ohio State and from Columbus State, and they will be on here in a little bit. So first of all, we're going to be running through just the basics of CCP. So what it is, how you're eligible, how you get credit, the benefits, consequences, academic and social responsibilities. We're going to look at the options that we have here in Dublin, and then the steps you take if this is what you're interested in for your student. So first of all, what is College Credit Plus? College Credit Plus is an opportunity for students in grades 7 to 12 to take college classes before graduation. It covers all dual credit programming. So that means they're getting their high school and their college credit. It can take place at a college campus, at the high school, and online. All Ohio public colleges must participate, and Ohio private colleges can choose to participate. Out-of-state colleges are not a part of the CCP program. Eligibility. Students must be Ohio residents to be eligible. Just keep that in mind. We've had situations where people were not Ohio residents and said, we'll be Ohio residents by the end, but if you're not and you take those courses, you will be charged for those. So I want to reiterate that because I've seen that happen a few times. You need to be an Ohio resident to qualify for this to be paid by the district and the state. Students must apply and be accepted to the college. So be pay close attention to the deadlines. Those are different for different institutions. And there's different admission process requirements for different institutions. Students must meet remediation-free prerequisite criteria. So the minimum 3.0 GPA pre-weighted is a requirement for Columbus State, or a college-ready score in English, reading, math. But Ohio State has some different admission criteria. So I would look at whatever college you're looking to apply to and make sure you're very aware of what it is that they require. Student athletes can participate in CCP. You still have the same requirements of needing to carry the course load, the full course load, to be able to participate. And you can see the different breakdown of what that might look like if you are a high school athlete. So a full-time CCP student is taking 4 CCP courses per semester, which is an equivalent of 12 college credits. If you have a 504 IEP, you're not served by your homeschool intervention specialist, you have to register with the college's Office of Disability Services to receive accommodations and college courses. So you won't be served by your homeschool in your CCP courses. That is taken care of through the college, and you must apply through them. Course options and registration. So if you are registering for courses at Emerald Campus, and we'll go into more depth in that later, you'll work with your homeschool counselor. If you're working through to go outside, you work with your college academic advisor. Incomplete registrations. This is important because there's a lot of steps, and we'll go through again at the end what those steps are. You will be moved into a high school course. The courses that are eligible for CCP are courses that apply towards a degree or certificate. They cannot be remedial. They need to be secular, and they need to be level 1 courses. It's a starting point for CCP. So you start with your base courses. Your colleges will have those listed, what those are, on their website. Usually you can find and navigate those, or work with your homeschool and or your college counselor. There are limits. You only have 30 eligible hours per academic year. You can see the district website for how that's calculated, and only 120 eligible CCP hours total for 7 through 12. So summer term is the beginning of the academic year. So if you take summer courses, those count towards that next academic year. At the bottom, you can see our little max credit calculator. So high school courses count as 3 college credits, essentially. So we have max credit at 30. If you go over that, you have to pay for yourself. Awarding credit. Dublin City Schools will award comparable high school credit for a course completed at a college or university. Most courses count as 1 high school credit per semester. So 3 college credits is 1 high school credit per semester. Many of our CCP courses are weighted equivalent to AP or IB, so they're on that 5.0 scale. If the high level coursework is available through Dublin City, then it'll be weighted. So health courses are only weighted at a 4.0 because we don't have any AP or IB health courses. Same with financial lit. Those are weighted at a 4.0. Grades will be included on each student's transcript, and so their high school transcript and the college and university transcript, and it is factored into the student's GPA. So your benefits are you are earning college credits while meeting high school graduation requirements. You will have some expanded curriculum offerings, and it gives your student a chance to maybe try out some some, courses that are in an area of study they're interested in for college and for career that they wouldn't have a chance to do otherwise. They'll have experienced college level work because this is truly all CCP courses are college level work. This is not college adjusted for high school students, and it helps make decisions about college or career. They're free tuition, books, and fees for CCP through any public college university. So there's some comparisons for books. And then private Ohio colleges and universities may choose to participate. There may be some fees. So make sure you're working with the college counselor from that college and working with us to make sure everything is covered. But there are also academic and social responsibilities. So being college ready is more than being academically ready. And you can see it those schedules, it says it conflicts with activities, employment opportunities, and FERPA. The fact is, this student is a little bit on their own. FERPA means that you, as parents, those rights to information is handed over to your student. You won't have access to see their grades, to see what's going on, unless your student sits with you and shows you those things. But that university does not have to communicate with you. Your student needs to be checking their college email. I can't reiterate that one enough. The moment they get accepted into that university, that email becomes their lifeline and their information, like where they get all information. So we want to make sure your student is checking their email. There's more independence for your student. They have to pursue support. They are often in the virtual class. They might be with adult students, and there might be travel if they're going on campus. Courses may include mature subject matter or materials. These are college courses, again, including those of graphic, explicit, violent, or sexual nature. They will not be modified based on College Credit Plus enrollee participation, regardless of where course instruction occurs. So we also need to make sure that we always get the student questionnaire and parent permission form. It's required as a part of participating. So what are some of the negative consequences? And we just want to reiterate, because we want to make sure everyone's aware of what they're getting in for here and what could happen. So those grades are factored in the high school GPA. You are responsible for repayment if a course is failed or incomplete. So that means that fee for that course transfers to the family's responsibility if that student does not pass or is incomplete. Students can be placed on academic probation if they earn lower than a 2.0, or they withdraw or fail from 2 courses in a term. So that means their participation is restricted and they'll have to go through a process to enroll. And they could be dismissed if it's not raised above a 2.0 during term on probation. Poor performance may affect future college, university admissions, and financial aid, because again, it's on your transcript, your high school transcript, and your college transcript. So our options for participation are: you can participate in CCP courses through our Emerald campus, or you can participate online or offsite at a public or participating private college and university. And with that, I'm going to hand this over to Nikki Swisher, our Emerald campus counselor, to review what it looks like at Emerald campus.
All right, thanks, Jen. Good evening, everybody. So we have some really great opportunities for students to take advantage of regarding CCP on site at the Emerald campus for Dublin City Schools. The first of which is probably our most popular option, especially with our 11th and 12th grade students. This is the Early College Academy. So within the Early College Academy, if a student chooses to participate for the full year in this academy, they would be earning up to 12 credit hours by taking courses in composition, Comp 1 and 2, and then also Introduction to Psychology and Introduction to Sociology. So by taking those 4 courses, all of which are 3 credit hours, again, they're earning those 12 credit hours throughout one academic year. By participating in the Early College Academy, they are also required to be a part of our College and Career Readiness Seminar, which is something that I teach at the Emerald campus. Students earn 0.25 high school credits for taking that course, and it's a part of the overall package deal for Early College Academy. The seminar course is about 30 minutes long every Friday. And on the other half of that, we'll show you a sample schedule here in a second. On the other half of that seminar, students have the opportunity to meet with their composition instructors for office hours on Friday as well. So you'll see there at the bottom, students can choose to participate in just one semester of this. If they're doing first semester, they would do composition 1 and then choose either psychology or sociology and then have the Friday seminar. If they're only doing second semester, that would primarily be for students who have already taken a Comp 1 course, either online or a previous year with us at Emerald Campus, and they're wanting to do the in-person Comp 2 option with the social science as well. And again, you can choose to do those first semester or for the whole school year. Jen, let's go to the next slide and take a look at the schedule. So you'll see here, if you're participating in Early College Academy, this is what the student could expect to see if they're participating in this day-to-day. So a student would have their composition course 2 days a week. So for example, here we would have that on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then they would have their psychology or their sociology course the other 2 days. So Tuesday, Thursday, or this could be flip-flopped with that composition course. And then on Fridays within that time frame, they have their seminar course, and then also the opportunity for them to utilize office hours or study time with us at the Emerald campus. Students that are looking to take just single course options in these 4 courses are not able to do those as a standalone option at Emerald campus. So if your student is interested in just taking Composition 1, we would encourage them to do that online through Columbus State or through another college or university that's offering that opportunity to them. All right, you'll also see on here, we have several other opportunities to participate in College Credit Plus through both our academies and through other standalone CCP options. So the first 2 are within our language studies. Students can participate in Arabic 1 and 2 or American Sign Language. Both of those courses are taught by Columbus State instructors, and those courses are offered either 5 days a week or 3 days a week, depending on which course they're taking. Different from the Early College Academy courses, which would take a 2-block period of the day. These courses typically are only going to be about 1 period or 2 periods if they're within an academy. So we talked about language studies. The next would be in our math department. We offer college algebra, trigonometry, calculus 1, and calculus 2, all at Emerald campus. And those are taught by one of our Dublin City Schools employees who is credentialed to teach these CCP math courses through Columbus State. These courses are also 1 period in length, and they're offered every day throughout the academic school year. Students can choose to take 1 math course for the first semester and a second math course second semester. Our math courses range in credits from about 4 credits to 5 credits, depending on which course they're taking. And the math courses do typically require either a prerequisite math course and grade earned or a placement test, such as the ALEX placement test at Columbus State, or students can utilize their ACT and SAT scores to be placed into those courses as well. And then finally, you'll see our academy options. So embedded within several of our academies, students have the option to take CCP credit for those courses, or they can take the courses as simply just high school credit. The curriculum is the same if they're choosing to participate in that CCP credit. And the courses listed here, unless they're marked otherwise, they are partners with Columbus State. So our engineering academy, Healthcare Professions Academy, and Hospitality are all with Columbus State. And then there at the bottom, you'll see our IT and Media Marketing Academies. We work directly with Clark State to offer college credit for those courses.
All right. So this is your opportunity for online or offsite courses. So we have public college universities. Again, they offer it. Some private colleges also may. Our eligible courses, as I covered, are courses that apply to a degree or certificate, not remedial, secular, and level 1 is the starting point. So we're going to go through our options and have them talk about, Columbus State and Ohio State talk about their options. So with that, Trisha, if you could share about Columbus State.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. Hello, everybody. I'm Trisha Bradley. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Services in our K-12 Partnerships Department at Columbus State. Happy to be here just to talk you through kind of the getting started steps. Should you as a student or those parents who are listening, if you're helping your student through these steps, this is what students need to do if they're considering the classes embedded at Emerald Campus that Nikki was talking about, or if they're interested in online or on campus at Columbus State, the steps are the same. So Of course, first students will need to apply to Columbus State. There is a College Credit Plus application specifically that they will want to complete. It's very easy to find right on our website. So they would go ahead and complete that application. Once they do that, within about 48 hours or so, they will receive an email from our admissions department alerting them to their next steps. And one of those first next steps is to submit the required forms that Jennifer had mentioned earlier. There is a student questionnaire. That form really speaks to the fact that, as we talked about earlier, these are college courses. They're not modified for high school students at all. So the students just acknowledging that they are mature enough to handle the rigor of a college course and understanding that the content of the course is not modified at all. And then there's a parent permission slip as well. That form does require the parent or guardian to sign along with the student, just indicating their interest and intent on participating in the College Credit Plus program. Once we have those forms, the next step is to determine eligibility for College Credit Plus. Some of these kind of eligibility points were mentioned before as well, but we do look for an unweighted cumulative high school GPA of at least a 3.0. If a student has that, they do establish eligibility for the College Credit Plus program. There are other ways to establish eligibility. We can look at ACT or SAT scores, or we also offer a placement test called the AccuPlacer. It's a reading and writing test that students will take, and if they score appropriately on that test, they are eligible for the College Credit Plus program as well. When students achieve those appropriate markers, they do receive placement into English 1100, which is Composition 1 that Jennifer and Nikki had both mentioned, in addition to a whole host of classes that require that placement. And so then the next step after we determine a student is eligible is really just to help them register for courses. So of course, depending on the location of the course, that process can look a little different. If it's an embedded class through Emerald Campus, the high school counselors are primarily involved in helping students get signed up for courses. If it's an online or on-campus course at Columbus State, the student will complete a registration form. But either way, all students are assigned a Columbus State CCP advisor that works with them very closely and works with their high school counselor very closely to be sure that the student feels supported and has a good plan for what courses they want to take. I know Jennifer talked a little bit about level 1 courses. That is the starting point for CCP, but please know it's a very large catalog of courses that are available at that level 1 level. And then once a student reaches 15 credit hours, it opens up even a little bit more. Many students will use their CCP coursework to complete general education requirements as they're thinking about their plans for after high school, or to even explore subject areas that they're interested in but may not have the opportunity to take advantage of within their own high school. So it's a great opportunity to kind of expand your horizons there with the coursework that's available. So those are the getting started steps at Columbus State. Of course, if you have any questions about that, you can definitely put them in the chat and I'll be around throughout the call as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from Stephanie from The Ohio State University.
The Ohio State University. You will hear CCP and Academy kind of interchangeably at Ohio State. So Ohio State offers classes either on campus at Ohio State University or online. We don't offer any classes at any of the high schools. So you would have to either come to the campus or do the courses online through Ohio State. Similar to Columbus State, we have a wide variety of classes that are available for students. A lot of our Academy students are working on general education requirements, or some are even actually starting on major classes, depending on what level they're at and what coursework they've already completed. We also have a high school internship program through the John Glenn College for Public Affairs. So if you're interested at all in nonprofit, government, other policymaking entities, I would strongly encourage you to check out that internship program. It's a great opportunity for students. So admission for the Academy program, Columbus campus, is selective. So that admission does mirror the admission standards for our incoming freshmen. So we really are looking at successful completion of a rigorous high school college prep curriculum with a very strong GPA. And if your school does class rank. And then most of our students who are coming to the Columbus campus have completed at least 15 high school hours. So we're generally looking at students who are maybe in their junior year or higher We do a holistic application review. We are still currently test optional, so you do not have to submit ACT or SAT scores, but you do have to obviously meet the state eligibility requirements. We're also going to look at your involvement outside of school. We're going to be looking at your application essay and your both academic performance and leadership and student involvement. Our application deadlines for the Academy program are February 1st if you want to take courses in the summer, and then May 1st for students who want to take courses in the fall, and then October 15th for the spring. Students also have the option of taking courses on our regional campuses, which have more open enrollment. So again, it mirrors sort of the Ohio State University freshman admission policies in general. I will also be here to answer any questions later in the evening, and you're also welcome to check our website, which is listed on the slide, or email us at sae-academy@osu.edu.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So here are our steps. So if you looked at all that and you're still interested and this is what you want as a student, you need to participate in required CCP counseling. Well, you're doing that parent counseling right now, which is wonderful. Students need to complete the intent form. February 10th is the priority deadline, and the final deadline is April 1st. So that'll be linked on our website. And as far as steps, any of the step sheets will have that. It's also linked in this presentation right here. So apply to the college. I would do that right now. I would start to apply to whatever college you're interested in at this moment. Meet with your homeschool counselor during high school scheduling. That window is going to be opening up soon. So you'll start having those conversations very, very soon. Schedule in the academic planning tool to request Dublin courses and the CCP placeholder, which will be on that academic planning tool when that gets released. And middle school students should work with their school counselor. Complete the required permission and questionnaire forms and any applicable placement tests. So you want to make sure you get all that paperwork done so that you can participate. Here's how you can learn more. This is a link to our Emerald Campus website, our Dublin College Credit Plus website that has all of this information. And then those step sheets are way more detailed than anything we went through tonight, but a good way for you to take a look and see how exactly to make sure that you are enrolled at Emerald and or directly through the college and university guide. So any specific questions, just remember that you really use your school counselor. They're wonderful. Talk to your college counselor. They are wonderful, very responsive, and that's going to be your best bet to really know what's best for your student. So with that, I have actually not been paying attention to the chat at all. So I'm going to stop sharing and pull us back. And if Kevin or Julie, if you guys saw any questions that you think we need to address from the group, that would be wonderful.
There was only one question put in the chat. Kevin, do you want to go ahead and answer that one?
Sure. Yeah. So far, the question was about whether or not the credits transfer to other universities. And it came up specifically when Columbus State, our representative from Columbus State, was sharing. So to answer that question, yes, very much so. These credits do transfer nicely, especially in the state of Ohio, to our public universities. I think sometimes there's a rumor out there that they do not transfer outside of Ohio, and that is also not true. They do happen to transfer to many universities outside of the state as well, but you may have to go through a little more legwork to get those credits to transfer. You may need, work directly with registrar's offices, but in Ohio, the CCP program is very well known by the institutions, so these credits do transfer nicely, especially in the state of Ohio.
The next question is, how can I meet the college counselor?
So I would say if you are referring to the admission or the representatives at Ohio State or Columbus State, then those websites, so the OSU Academy or Columbus State's College Credit Plus website, have direct email addresses you can use. You can also certainly speak with your school counselors in your home high schools to get just general information. And then I can happily answer any questions regarding this. And I know Mrs. Swisher, who is the counselor at Emerald Campus, really does a great job of helping students and families who are wanting to take classes that happen at the Emerald Campus building.
Kevin, can you tell everyone about opportunities and what they look like for middle school students?
Yeah, absolutely. So while this is technically a program that's available for students in grades 7 through 12, it's very unlikely that a 7th, 8th, or even most cases, a 9th grader would be a great candidate for College Credit Plus. So we do treat every individual on a case-by-case basis. And certainly there are situations where students may begin this process in middle school, but it is very much typically done later in high school. I would say, junior, senior year is when we see the majority of our students taking advantage of College Credit Plus. And really that's because at that point, they've really gotten that foundation that they need to be successful. They've taken some challenging courses in their high schools, and maybe at that point have taken some honors in AP or IB type courses. And at that point, you would be someone that would know whether or not this would be a good next step. I always say, certainly it's a great way to get general education credits out of the way. And if your student is ready for college level courses, whether that's online or in person at Emerald campus or on a college campus, it is a great way to just kind of see what those classes are like and how to manage that. But certainly we have a lot of great ways to challenge yourselves with high school level courses that can also help you to earn college credit, but maybe in a more supported way in your home building with your counselors, with your teachers who are Dublin teachers. So it just depends on everybody's unique situation on which is the most appropriate. So that's why talking to counselors, talking to people and teachers who can help you make those decisions is going to be a critical part of the process.
There's a question in here that I'm going to answer. What applies for placement as a 7th grader, and what does transportation look like from the middle schools? So we do not really permit 7th graders and 8th graders to take college courses at Emerald campus. It doesn't align nicely with the middle school schedule. And also, if you're taking, for example, Composition 1 as a 7th grader, it does not replace 7th grade English. Same would go for 8th grade English. So most of the times that we see students taking classes at middle school, it would be those online classes outside of the school day, maybe some summer courses, which we are not a strong advocate for students at that age, but those are the different possibilities. Kevin, there's a question in here. Are CCP classes taken after school hours or during school?
Yeah, sure. So if we're talking about the courses at Emerald campus, those are during the school day. And then the colleges offer a lot more variety in terms of times of day, especially community college. They are great at offering more flexible opportunities for students who maybe are looking to do something, once or twice a week during the evening or on a weekend. They may have some opportunities, but the vast majority of our students are taking these courses either during the school day or typical school hours, at Emerald campus or on a college campus, or many of our students do take some of these courses online, and that can, many of those are asynchronous and they can do the work at any point that they have time in their schedule.
There was a question in there about, can we do it over the summer? And the answer is yes. And so just remember that the summer before the year counts for that year. So if it's the summer before your junior year, that counts towards the credits for your junior year when you're doing that calculation with CCP as well as your high school cumulative credits.
I saw a question on there too that I'm happy to answer about the holistic admissions process and CCP credits still being accepted. So I think when colleges are looking at CCP credits to admit you to the university, like when you're a graduating senior going off to college, they look at those CCP courses as somebody who is challenging themselves with high-level courses. They're taking courses beyond maybe what the minimum criteria are for graduation and things like that. And so they're looked upon very positively when you're in a competitive admissions cycle. And then once you're admitted to the college, that's when they will determine what they will give you credit for the courses that you've taken at any specific university when you've participated in the CCP program.
So then the next question I see on there is, if I apply to OSU over the summer, do I have to apply in the future, or will I only need to schedule courses upon acceptance? So anytime you apply to OSU, you will not be able to schedule any courses or register for any courses until you have been accepted. And if you want to take classes over the summer, for example, your deadline would be February 1st of 2025. If you want to be eligible for next fall at Ohio State, then your deadline, I believe, would be May 1st of 2025. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I know we've got some OSU representatives on here, and sometimes those dates shift around a little bit. In the case of whether or not you can schedule courses upon applying, that would be, you would only be able to register once you've been accepted. So in the meantime, you would work with your counselor here to have a backup plan for what you would take if you were not to be accepted into Ohio State.
There's a question about the limit of CCP courses in the summer. Earlier, we mentioned that there's a maximum credit allowance of 30 credits. That 30 credits is a cumulative course number. So it is a calculation between classes that you're taking. So if you're taking, let's look at a sample junior schedule, for example, and they're taking personal finance and they're taking an environmental science class, all of those credits factor into it. So a student may be able to take 3, like a college class. I think when they're getting up to 3 college classes over the summer, they're typically over their max number. But there is a calculation sheet that is used to figure out how the 30 credits work throughout the year.
And then it looks like somebody asked about whether or not a Chromebook would be sufficient for an online course that you've registered for through a college. I have not heard anything to believe that it would not be sufficient for an online course through OSU or Columbus State. I would say if I am incorrect about that, if any of our representatives from OSU or Columbus State could correct me, but if they should be able to use a Chromebook, I believe that would work just fine. All right, so it sounds like no one's correcting me, so hopefully that's accurate. And then the next question is about if your student gets admitted to OSU's CCP or the OSU Academy, would they have to reapply for admission as a first-year college student? And the answer is yes. So once you're admitted as a College Credit Plus student or an Academy student, that is a separate application process, and you are still very much a high school student at that point. So once you go into your senior year and you start applying for colleges as a first-year student, that will be a separate application process for Ohio State. I will say it's a little bit different for Columbus State. Once you've been accepted as a College Credit Plus student through Columbus State and you've started taking classes and earning through transcripted credits through them, then it is a situation, because it is an open enrollment school, where you would be able to roll right into Columbus State as a first-year student. So then, do you only apply once? The answer is yes. Once you've been accepted at any point as a student to the Academy or to Columbus State, then you are in those programs until you complete high school, as long as you meet all of the requirements to stay eligible to be a student. Mrs. Hinder talked about some of the ways you may become ineligible, or you may be put on some type of probation because you're earning below a 2.0. But as long as you're performing at a high level and keeping your grades up, then you should not have to reapply. You do have to complete an intent form to participate every year, which is a very simple process, but it is something you want to pay attention to each year. And you don't want to assume that because you took classes last year, you don't have to do anything the following year. There are, some minor requirements each year that you have to do just to let us know that you're planning to participate, because we have to figure out how much to allocate towards this process. And that is a state requirement that every year students and families complete that intent to participate form that is specific to the district.
There's a question in here. I'm new to Dublin. Where is Emerald Campus in comparison to the high schools? Emerald Campus is located across the street from Kaufman High School. So there's 2 buildings. There are twin buildings there. One of them is the first 3 floors of the building is Emerald Campus, and the 4th floor is our central office location.
And I do want to say we have transportation. So if your child takes courses at Emerald, our buses will go to and from homeschool to Emerald and provide that transportation for your student.
But there is not transportation provided for any courses taken outside of Dublin, which I know we've already mentioned, but I just want to take this opportunity to make sure we don't have any confusion around that. So yes, we do have shuttles throughout the day to and from each home high school to the Emerald Campus building for all of the different programming that we offer over there. But if you choose to take courses on a campus off of, outside of our Dublin home campus here, then you would be responsible for the transportation.
All right. I'm not seeing any new questions pop up. So with that, I want to thank our guests. Thank you to Stephanie and to Trisha, and thank you, Nikki and Julie and Kevin. And thank you to all the parents and family and students who joined us tonight. Please continue to reach out, ask questions, talk to your school counselor, talk to us, let us know what we can do, because we had a question pop in. How is transportation during the summer? And we do not have transportation over the summer. So there is no transportation. All right. Well, with that, we will be posting this. The link to the slides are in the chat, as well as the link to where the presentation will be tomorrow. A quick plug, we are going to have more information nights again in January. So keep an eye open. More information will be coming. So have a wonderful night, and thank you guys so much.